All we gotta do is win. So if they sleep on you, tuck them in. Meet me at the top. If you bought, I'll drop my pen. So many stars in the making, thank you, sing. Eyes on the prize, I say passionate. I got the sauce like Diana, vision like Matheson. They say patience is a virtue, so I went around the world and back again. Now NSL be on the map, no more imagining, it's happening.
The final match of this weekend brings us to Laval, Quebec, where the Montreal Roses hope to keep some of the recent good times going against one of the red-hot teams in the league. That's the Calgary Wild. You're watching the Northern Super League presented by BMO. I'm pleased to be joined by longtime Canadian international and Premier League goalkeeper Craig Forrest. My name is Matt Cullen. Lots of intrigue, Craig, with this matchup here. Let's begin with the visitors today from Alberta, Calgary, winners of 2 straight in the league, 3 straight now against all competitions.
That looked really unlikely a couple of weeks ago. I mean, they were really struggling through the season. They were fragile in just about every aspect of the game, but they've come back with that Canadian Championship win, gave them some confidence. It looked unlikely they were going to get a result in Vancouver until the 90th minute. Balcom gets on the end of it and ties it up. It looks as like they're going to pick up a point on the road. Oh, but no, they're going to actually do one more than that. In the 95th minute, Stewart gets on the end of it. Maybe he should have been better goalkeeping, but they're not going to care. It's their first win in the NSL and 2 on the back of the Canadian Championship game as well. Brilliant result for Calgary.
And this is against top of the table Ottawa last week, where Sarita Thurton had her first career NSL brace.
Yeah, a great finish from there. Just enough height to get over the goalkeeper at the near post. She might want that one back, but still a very difficult one. But this goal here is top drawer. Good turn, does the defender badly, and gets right in close 8 yards out, just puts it past the goalkeeper, and for again another result and 3 points for Calgary Wild.
And if you do the math, now that's 7 goals in the last 2 games here for this Calgary team in the NSL. This is a team that's starting to find some form.
Yeah, they are, and that's great. I mean, it's good to see. They brought in some new faces. They have some players that are playing better now as well. They've got some structure. I think the coaching staff's really got behind them and worked hard on that intensity, and it certainly showed in the results in the last few weeks.
Taking a look at Sarita Thurton there, Corey Babington says he could not take her out of the starting lineup. 2 goals and an assist in the win against Ottawa last week. There are 2 changes, though. Grace Doherty returning from a 2-game suspension. That will help Calgary. And then Josie Alessino coming in for her first career start with the Calgary Wild. Moments ago, we had a chance to catch up with Sarita Thurton. Sarita coming off a great performance with 2 goals and an assist in the win against Ottawa. How much confidence does a game like that give to you personally?
Definitely a lot. I think anyone, as a forward, when you score, it definitely gives you that bump up because that's your job. So I think, I'm just using that to push me forward into this game.
And Calgary has 2 straight NSL wins, 3 straight now in all competition. What's been the key to the recent stretch of play that's been so great, and of course to extend that streak here in Montreal?
I think having our new staff in and having them give us a philosophy to work towards has really helped us and given us that vision. And I think using that, we've used that in training to help our training elevate us that much more. So then when we come to the games, you already are using that intensity and that framework in the games. And I think because of that, we've been improving every week, and I think we've been getting the results that show that.
Thanks for the time today, and best of luck with the match.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
So Calgary is red hot, and that could be a major point of concern here for Montreal, who have had some ups and downs over the last couple of weeks, but coming off a 2-0 win, a feisty, hard-fought win in Toronto, starting with the goalkeeping. Anna Karpenko was terrific in that match.
Was she ever? I can't remember a better goalkeeping display in NSL. Okay, it's year 2, but this was just incredible, and this is just one of a number of great saves that she came up with. She, the thing with Montreal is it seems that every week, it doesn't matter who it is, but somebody else seems to step up and be the star of the show, and Karpenko certainly was that. Gave him the platform to create some chances, got a penalty, and they take a 1-0 lead in the 55th minute.
Mimi Alidu converting from the spot, and then this was a tidy finish here from Elise Bennett for her 9th.
Yeah, she does well to get in between the defender and really give herself an opportunity on goal. The goalkeeper can't quite get a hold of it, wobbling around a little bit. She reacts to the faster, and they end up with a 2-0 win on the road that looked unlikely considering how many opportunities that Toronto had in that match.
And a bit of controversy in that game as well. But Elise Bennett, no controversy here. 9 goals, shares a part of the Golden Boot lead as well with Jessica DeFilippo of Vancouver. She's been terrific so far. This is a big spot, though, for Montreal, coming back home for the first time since losing in the W Canadian Championship.
That's right. And, you know, many of the Canadian teams in the NSL really have struggled at home. And sometimes it's more difficult to play at home because you got that anticipation of the fans. If you have to play on the front foot, they want to do that today, certainly against Calgary. Get at them, get a result for the home fans after that disappointing Canadian Championship loss.
Maurice Bard-Martel, just one change today, bringing in the Haitian international Amandine Pierre-Louis for her first career NSL start. Expected her to be on the right side of the pitch. Moments ago, we had a chance to catch up with Anna Karpenko after her big game at BMO Field last week. Anna, coming off a hard-earned win and a clean sheet in Toronto. 9 saves for you. You were incredibly busy. How have you been able to elevate your game, particularly in this season?
I think it's just sticking to the task day by day, coming into training, doing what I can to feel my best, play my best, and just competing every day to be consistent.
And a big game here against Calgary, who are suddenly red hot. This is also your first game back with the Roses after the W Canadian Championship loss. How important is it to have a good match here in front of the home fans?
Oh, it's super important. You know, we respect every opponent, and Calgary's coming off of, I believe, a 3-game win streak. So obviously we're hoping to end that today and put on a show for our fans because we've been doing well in away games. We're undefeated, but we're looking to bring that same tendency back home for our fans at Stade Boréale.
All right. Thanks for this and best of luck today.
Thank you so much.
So Montreal hoping to find some home form, and they will need it as well. AFC Toronto winning against Halifax earlier in the day, and the top 3 now all of a sudden very close, but 3 points today for Montreal could put them equal with Ottawa at the top of the table. So that is what is at stake today at Stade Boréale, Montreal and Calgary. 90 minutes to determine a winner here today to finish off this Sunday afternoon.
Welcome on board our new Triangle Rewards and WestJet Rewards partnership.
Prior to earning, ensure your accounts are securely linked. In the event you shop or fly with us, earn Canadian Tire money and WestJet points on all eligible purchases. Breathe normally and secure your own rewards before assisting others. Take a moment to locate where you can spend once and earn twice. Link today and watch your rewards take off.
First game. First whistle. First goal. First jersey. First autograph. First favorite player. First away game. First big win. First time thinking, that's gonna be me. Firsts help us move forward together. Toyota, founding partner of the first professional women's soccer league in Canada.
Watching dough rise always fills me with inspiration.
Don't ever look at my savings account. The dough doesn't rise.
BMO has 2 simple ingredients to make your savings rise. Great interest rates and no monthly fees.
Yeah, that would do it all right.
Plus, get a cash bonus for opening a checking and savings account.
So BMO helps your savings grow bigger faster.
Like a triple dose of yeast.
You're hired.
What? No, I wasn't looking for it.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
BMO.
Overcast today, just north of Montreal, and we'll have to keep an eye on the weather radar as well. Some thunderstorms in the area, but the hope is that the football gods and the weather gods will cooperate for us today as there is a good crowd on hand. Calgary also getting a bit of a boost today, and actually it's a big boost with the return of Grace Story, minutes leader for this team before her 2-game suspension and a difficult loss to Toronto back on August the 1st.
Yeah, great to have her back in the lineup. Of course, you could arguably say that she's the most consistent player this season for Calgary, so important to have her back and back into a team that's so confident at the moment. This is going to be a really interesting match. I mean, buckle up. I think we're going to see lots of opportunities today.
Tegan Stewart, who has been a big part of this Calgary Wild win streak, kicks us off her 4th consecutive start today with the Calgary Wild in the dark purple uniforms with red trim moving from right to left. And Montreal, who has already 4 home losses in the NSL this year, hoping that there won't be a 5th today, attacking here from left to right. It's an early ball into the corner for Mimi Alidu. Will turn into a Caitlin Talbot goal kick. Once again, my name is Matt Cullen, long-time Canadian international and Premier League keeper Craig Forrest. Already we saw AFC Toronto winning 2-0 in the rain in Halifax today. So making the top of the table a little bit more congested.
It really is. It's getting very interesting. And then you have Calgary, who's holding up at the bottom of the table with a couple of great results as well. Long way to go in the season still, and it's a long way for them to get into a playoff position. But one game at a time, one performance at a time, and so far it's been very good over the last few weeks.
I'm sure that word has come up in the Wild locker room over the last couple of weeks. Playoffs, 14 points back if we want to do the math with 9 games remaining.
Yeah, big ask.
Big ask indeed, but so far this is a team that's found a way to score some goals and pick up some wins, even though Corey Babington, the acting manager today for the Wild, doesn't necessarily love the team and how many goals they concede.
Yeah, well, there is that. They do concede an awful lot. But one thing, too, with this Canadian Championship going on and them going to the next round, there's some big stuff, big prizes to play for still. So even if they don't finish in the playoff spot in NSL, Canadian Championship could actually springboard them into some important competitions.
That's one of the semi-finalists in the W Canadian Championship. This is Chloe Minas for the Roses, who are trying to play more direct in terms of the attacking. Elise Bennett, Tanya Boychuk. It's dealt with by the Calgary Wild. And Michaela Moore will work to play out. Ball played forward, and Lucy Capadona, second in NSL touches this year, only behind Jaleesa Harris. Montreal has 5 wins over their last 8 in the Northern Super League, but of course the big outlier there is the 1-0 loss to Simcoe County in the W Canadian Championship, and that sparked a manager change. So this is Maurice Bard-Martel's 2nd match since the dismissal of Robert Rosatoyu.
Yeah, big changes, obviously. It may be a bit of a surprise after a disappointing result. You can't get away from that. And it's an important one for them as well. They wanted to do well in that competition, and they're in good hands. They've still got a very good coaching staff, and although she's interim at the moment, she has every chance, I would hope, to get the full-time job, but we'll see.
Otto plays back to Talbot. Amandine Pierre-Louis comes up. First decision of the day for the head official, Marion Marcotte from Lévis, Quebec. Her 8th appointment of the season. Acting manager today, Corey Babington, the Australian, has found a way to really make this team tick.
He really has. He's done a terrific job. I mean, he actually, before the Vancouver result, said in the coaches meeting with the media that he thought there was a chance. Actually, he said we were going to get 3 points. I'll go as far as saying that, and he did. And that's a big ask considering a team that hadn't won in the NSL all season long. He was absolutely bang on, and so he's installed a lot of confidence in them and structure, and that really helped them in that organization standpoint and given them some confidence to build on.
Back-to-back high-scoring wins for Calgary. 3-2 in Vancouver, coming from behind to take all 3 points there. And then a high-paced second half against top-of-the-table Ottawa, ending in a 4-3 scoreline in that one. So certainly it's been high power lately for Corey Babington, in place of Leah Blaney, who continues to be away from the team for personal reasons. This is Sauvin. Bauckham coming in. Bauckham goals in back-to-back games now. Started to find her form.
Good work defensively there, starting at the top. We talk about defenders, but the team needs to start at the top, and Montreal did a good job there.
Interim manager Maurice Bard-Martel watches on. This is coming back, though, in the 6th minute. No opportunity for Tanya Boychuk, who likes the opportunity, but just missing in terms of execution here, just a half step ahead.
Yeah, when we talk about organization defensively, that's a good example from Calgary. A good starting line, holding that position, lots of communication in there, just enough to put Bauckham into an offside position. Good work.
Ball forward from Alessino. Michigan product, played in Australia's A-League for her first start with the Calgary Wild. Number of new players coming into this side, and perhaps not a surprise that Leah Blaney and Corey Babington, both from Australia, there's been some familiarity there, some players that they know well.
It's always nice.
So far, that is turned into points in the table. Calgary 8 points on the table so far this year. Halifax unable to pick up points at home today against AFC Toronto, sitting on 21. 1 point back of Vancouver, who scored a massive win against the Ottawa Rapid. 5-1 is all of a sudden the top of the table. Rapid are, maybe can we say, in a bit of trouble after back-to-back defeats?
Yeah, well,
9 goals conceded in that span.
Yeah, that's an awful lot. That was a cracking game, considering there was, 5 of the goals in the second half. Maybe unlikely on the road. It's a lot of goals to concede at home.
And home hasn't necessarily been friendly for many of these teams this year. Montreal, more losses at home than wins. It's been the same for AFC Toronto. Vancouver also in that mix as well. Calgary has just the 1 home victory on the season. This is Hannah Boughton. First ball for Korpenko, who deals with that nicely.
Those are those positions where Calgary want players to overlap, get forward, get crosses in the box. A little bit of a letdown with that quality of the cross, but gives you an idea what Calgary will be looking to do in transition.
One back here by the Wild. Stewart plays to Sarita Thurton, just on the edge of the penalty area there. A good hustle play from Lisa Pechersky to avoid a corner.
Good press by Calgary. She'll have to be aware of that. They like to play out of the back, but be very careful, especially with a press like Calgary. They decide to use it, which they did on that occasion.
Doherty plays to Stewart. Goes to the top of the penalty area where Callie Johnson is lurking. Had a goal and an assist in the last game against Ottawa. First time in terms of multi-goal contributions this year for the Sydney, Australia native. Ottawa and Michaela Moore, the 2 center backs. Another ball that's played over to the 18-year-old Tegan Stewart. Be in the mix for the upcoming Women's Under-20 World Cup in the beginning of the month of September in Poland. A couple of NSL players named to the Canadian side. We'll have more on that at halftime. This one, Pogarsh, just a little bit too aggressive, and the foul whistled. Doherty watches on as Pechurski plays back to Marie-Yasmin Alidou. Sauvé and Capadona. Looking for a way forward, almost given away. Good awareness there from Karpenko. Nothing like a missed back pass, Greg, to elevate a keeper's heart rate.
Yeah, that's right. I always look at it when Karpenko's starting position is always spot on. Like, she's always in the right position there at the top of her box if something does break down to get on top of it. You sing her praises quite a bit. I mean, after that last performance against Toronto was as good as you'll see from any goalkeeper.
Not often you can say that you stop a shot when you're behind the goal line in the back of your net. That was the case.
Yeah.
Denying Kaylee Hunter. Here's Charlotte Bilbao. Good turn for the Roses, looking for space. And it comes down to Pechurski, running at Storty in the penalty area. Storty lunging. And this is a goal kick for Talbot. Perhaps a risky play there from Grace Storty.
Yeah, it is. You have to make sure of it. And Pechurski, we know how difficult of a player she is to play against. And one-on-one, that nice switch of play opened that up to create that one-on-one situation. Just unable to get the cross in before it went out of bounds.
Crossing into the 12th minute here. Albert's had some nice moments in the 3 consecutive wins across all competitions for Calgary Wild. Montreal does have some attacking threats though. Back to Alidou. Alidou is in, across goal. And just out of the reach of Tanya Boychuk. Bogarsh and Boychuk meet, and the foul was whistled here as one of the relative newcomers, Bogarsh, goes down. This is some more danger here.
Yeah, nice turn. Before the game, I saw her, just a look on her face. It looks as though she had a game face on. She's willing to get into this and wanted the game to start as quickly as possible. But Montreal have a number of players, the weapons that can hurt you, and that's one of the reasons why they're sitting so close to the top of the league, or could be top of the league come the end of this day.
Check that. That was Elise Bennett with that fine move and the ball across. Free kick awarded to the Roses here after Boychuk is taken down.
Nice to see right away. She's saying, I'm okay. Took a bit of a knock, draws the foul. Set piece, chance to get one in the box for Montreal.
Montreal would love an early goal here. Just to try and get some confidence back at home. And this time it is Mimi Alidou on the set piece. High arcing ball, but too far for any of her teammates.
Yeah, that's not a good delivery. She'll be blowing that one back. Way too easy for the goalkeeper. Calgary won't mind.
Stewart looking for some help with Storty. Yes, and the Roses defend that well. Fifth and final meeting of the regular season between these two. Played early and often. 2 Montreal wins and 2 draws for the first 4 results. Stewart able to find a teammate with that. Comes back to Alidou. Last Montreal home win was back on July the 12th, a 1-0 win against Halifax. Since then, 3 straight home defeats, including the W Canadian Championship loss. So that cannot sit well.
No, and you know they're aware of that, of course. They'll know it well, and that's why they're trying to get out of that.
And they might have something here with Boychuk, and unable to get past the Calgary back line, who had to scramble back into position.
Yeah, they did well to basically close that positioning down. I said, the weapons that can hurt you, they know exactly who they are, but there's a number of them for Montreal.
Bilbao, one of them, striding forward. Boychuk For Pogarsh, Bilbo again takes a touch. The back heel, not cleared properly though by the Wild, and Boychuk will have a second chance. Pogarsh lunges, has some help from Callie Johnson. Johnson hitting a couple of young fans there in the front row. Hopefully everybody's okay.
She did as well. You know, it's nice to see she gave away because you know exactly what happened there. They didn't see exactly the ball coming in, but hit a young fan. Hope they'll be okay.
We'd like to see that. Just a clearing attempt gone wrong. Pachurski will now operate off the far flank. Back to Bilbo. Attempt at goal. This one spinning away from the target. Montreal's been on the front foot here for the first quarter of the hour.
Yeah, they have been, and they kind of sort of expected that against Calgary. There's a replay of the opportunity, decent opportunity, and where it's a shot as well. It just comes across the ball and doesn't quite get much purchase on it.
Bilbo and Johnson jostling there. Now they do with a good touch to play back to Montreal Rose's captain, Megan Sauvé. Wearing the armband today. Rotation usually with Tanya Boychuk. Now they do. Track closely there by Alessino. Now Michaela Moore looking for some direction and just has to concede a corner. Looking for maybe a little bit of help from the goalkeeper in terms of direction.
Yeah, and if you're in doubt, that's you got to clear it. Obviously, a corner is not ideal, but you're not going to get any communication from your goalkeeper, and you're better safe than sorry. This is important for Calgary to defend these set pieces.
First corner of the match. Alidou will be looking to sharpen that delivery. This ball is up, back post, headed back across goal. But no finish this time from Montreal. Early numbers, as we've been talking about here, Greg, favoring Montreal in terms of possession. And forcing Calgary to give away another ball here into a throw. Seto, room to operate here. Joey Bockham comes up quickly. Except Pogarsh. Out looking at Callie Johnson, but Pierre-Louis as well to get in front of that. And Montreal once again rewarded for some of the good pressing.
Yeah, very good pressing. Both teams have shown that well, and it just shows you. I mean, there's one of the opportunities we've seen from a goal kick situation where Calgary tried to play out short, and under a lot of pressure, end up giving a foul away again. To see if the Montreal can put one into the dangerous area with a bit of a better quality pass, or play one short. There's 3 against 2 out here. They might want to do that.
Alidou again, flicked on. It's there for the taking. Flag though coming up as the referees determining that Montreal is ahead of the play. It's Capadona, and at least Bennett seems to be slow to get up here. Those set pieces for the Roses just haven't quite been on point here so far to start the match.
Yeah, not quite. One of the corners was quite good. Caused some trouble, but they want to put them under more pressure than they have in the 3 or 4 set pieces that we've seen from Montreal so far.
Morris gives back to Michaela Moore. Watched closely there by Bennett. Goal today would make her the first to reach double-digit goals in the Northern Super League this year. Yes, Capitona, now Sauvé. Striding forward. Montreal looks for a key moment here after a good opening 20 minutes. Minas, ball through to Boychuk. Again defended well by the Wild.
Yeah, when Calgary get themselves set up defensively, they've made themselves more difficult to break down than we've seen large parts of the season, and that's one of the improvements. First and foremost, you want to make sure you're difficult to beat defensively, and ooh, that was tight.
Risky ball there from Talbert, right past Bennett. Now Calgary bringing some press. And Bauckham does well to win the foul here. It will be a Wild set piece. And you can hear that's Corey Babington on the touchline saying it's time to step up and close some gaps. Some menacing looking clouds off to the west of Stade Boréale. There are a few thunderstorms in the Montreal area today. We're hoping that that's not the latest bit of weather to roll through. Second phase of the set piece. Taken back here by Taylor Otto. Now sent in. Looking at Thurton. Just couldn't quite save it right along the line. Just a bit of attacking on the day here for the Wild. Doherty. Doherty does well to win the throw. Always counts on a good bit of drumming at Stade Boréale. Bringing a bit of atmosphere here.
Love it.
All forward, and this time just too far ahead for Boychuk. And of course, the big dance. The NSL Championship Final will be held at TD Place in Ottawa on November the 14th. Who will lift the Diana B. Matheson Trophy? We'll find out in a few short months. Certainly a touch of fall in the air today, Craig. It's towards the end of summer and into the, I call it the championship season in terms of North American soccer anyway.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot more nice weather to come. Let's hope.
I like the optimistic approach.
Yeah, it was pretty cold last year for the final in Toronto.
Yeah, certainly. It was a full weather day on that day. Thunderstorms rolling in.
That's right. That's right. And what a game it was, really. I mean, Toronto on the front foot for most of the game, and then Vancouver a bit of a surprise and come away with the championship.
Headed back across off the woodwork, and Stordy very close to giving Calgary an away lead. More pressure here. Stewart's ball back to the near post. And just like that, the Calgary Wild have started to wake up in terms of the attacking off of a corner kick.
Yeah, it was a really good ball in, and Storty does very well to put that back across. Just try to get enough on it to loop it into that far corner. Karpenko, absolutely zero chance if that even dropped in the net.
This is another ball that takes a deflection.
End to end.
Montreal corner, yes, quickly attacking the other way. Nice guard, Martel. Mentioning a couple of weeks ago when she was named the interim manager that there's a solid base here, but obviously it's her job now to try and take it to the next level.
So young fans that took the ball in the face a little while ago, they all seem to be okay. It's great to see so many fans, young women out here supporting the NSL, which is just a terrific product, and happy to be around Montreal.
Another good ball here from the Roses, this time getting creative off of the corner. It was flicked on again. Bennett unable to reel that in. Thought she'd won the throw. The referee had seemingly a different idea on that. Pajurski and Thurton. Collected here by Hannah Boughton. And for her 6th consecutive start since joining the side. Been the mainstay in Calgary's midfield over the past 4 or 5 weeks. This is a miscue here from the Wild, and Pajurski running onto it, and Michaela Moore having to scramble back and concede another corner. Doesn't look particularly happy about it.
No, probably just in the build-up, but cleans it up well. Doesn't take any chances.
So 3rd corner of the half here for the Roses. Still looking for a first shot on target here. Alidu once again strikes this one, looking at Bennett. High in the air. Back towards the Montreal leading goal scorer. Also has some support with Seto. Amandine Pierre-Louis. Once again, ball at that back post. Pajurski is there. Volleyed back in and into the top netting. Montreal starting to ask some more questions.
Good ball across. Pajurski would like that one back. In a good position just to put that back into the dangerous area, and see she's a little bit frustrated by that.
Back by Bennett and Pajurski operating in close quarters. Ball through for Bennett and Storty. As well there to shield the ball away from Bennett. The foul was given, and instead, out in the midfield. Bogarsh given away. Pierre-Louis to the penalty area, and it's quickly away again from the Wild. Just out of the reach of Boughton. Another interesting twist in this match that both of these teams have made mid-season coaching changes, and both have come since the previous 4 meetings. So it's almost like a brand new setup here for these two teams. Difficult to base the preparation off of the last 4 meetings when the manager and the voices have changed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, personnel change, coaching changes, philosophy changes. Certainly Calgary needed that. And it's certainly been a lot better. In the last few weeks have been really, really a pleasure to watch Calgary. Nice to see they're back competitive again.
Last year, 9 wins on the NSL season, missed the playoffs by 7 points. Bennett here took the ball off the side of the face and the ear. Seems to be rather unpleasant. So here Marcotte giving Montreal's number 9 a second, and Bennett's right back into it. Ball is there, Talbot down and somehow missed. Mimi Alidu in a prime goal-scoring opportunity puts it over the bar, and the referee says no deflection.
What a miss that was. Big, big opportunity. See this one build up. Bennett does well. It just turns. Oh, that does very well. Gets it into the dangerous area. The goalkeeper, she gets clattered by her own player, and then it's sitting on a platter. Just need to hit the target. Massive miss. Massive opportunity for Montreal. The best of the game so far.
Alidu looking for goals in back-to-back. Caitlin Talbot is being dealt with here by the medical team. Certainly a threatening situation in front of the Wild goal with Talbot down.
Yeah, very brave in what she was trying to do, getting to the ball, diving at the feet. And it was her own defender, I believe, that kind of caught her with the knee in the side of the head. Definitely shaking her up. Here's another look at that great turn from Bennett, puts it in the dangerous area. Here comes the goalkeeper, and there's her own player there. Oof. Doherty, I believe, makes contact. Let's hope the goalkeeper's okay. Still struggling a little bit. Getting looking at by the physio. An opportunity to take on some refreshments.
Now 14 straight starts for the Wild.
Saw the thumbs up from one of the physios.
That is a good sign.
How many fingers? Tuesday.
You see she's able to pop right back up. I hope you were able to answer all those questions in your playing days, Craig, whenever how many fingers came up. Keepers do put themselves in vulnerable areas with players running full speed at them.
Yeah, that's part and parcel of the job. It's not a fun thing to do, but it's necessary, and you have to be willing to do it. And if you're not, then that's not the right position for you. Talbot, brave, always brave. Sometimes unorthodox in her goalkeeping, but brave and strong and willing to compete. Good to see she's on her feet.
Sent away. Messino. First to the ball, taken by Pogarsh. Collected by Seto in the midfield. Chase here by 2 Wild players, and some good press resulting in a Calgary throw.
Yeah, Calgary looking for some little trigger points when they go on press, and it's one of them. Montreal player facing her own goal and having a hard time making a turn, and had to put it out just to safety.
Intercepted again by Josie Alessino. 45 minutes off the bench in the 4-3 win over Ottawa a week ago. Second half, taking a 2-2 draw, turning that into 3 points for Calgary's first win at McMahon Stadium this year. Good little touch from Thurton. Can't get it past Bilbao, however. Bacham will make the run. To Seto. Seto's in some trouble. Callie Johnson taken down and a penalty is awarded. Calgary bringing the press and Montreal getting sloppy. And a foul in the penalty area has given Calgary a wonderful opportunity.
This is what we've been seeing from Calgary when they see those points and where they're going to press, and they've done a really good job with it, and they get their just desserts here because they get into the dangerous area, and then Johnson gets clipped, turns on the ball. The challenge from Seto comes in, and I have to say that is a penalty in my opinion, and same with the referee, and it's going to give Calgary an opportunity here to take a 1-0 lead after just a few moments ago, a few minutes ago, Montreal having a really good opportunity themselves to take the lead. But here we go. Can Karpenko keep this streak alive with great saves?
Tegan Stewart already 1 for 1 from the spot. The 18-year-old prepares with the right boot against Karpenko. Stewart for the lead. Yes, Karpenko going the wrong way. And the Calgary Wild just keep the good times going. It's 1-0 for the visitors in Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal can only blame themselves really for putting themselves in that position. It's okay playing out of the back, but you have to make sure and look after the ball, and they failed to do so under some great pressure from Calgary. You have to credit Calgary for what they did in that press, winning the ball back in the dangerous area, drawing the foul, getting the penalty. Stewart makes it 1-0.
Maggie Doherty-Howard took the first 3 penalties of the year for Calgary, but has been out due to injury, although seemingly getting close. And Stewart scored in the comeback win in Vancouver that we highlighted off the top of our show. And 18-year-old with some nice poise from the spot.
You know, that is something when you've got that confidence to be able to put that player there, and her own confidence at 18 to be able to step up and do that with the quality that we just saw. Pretty special from a special young player.
Now, how does Montreal respond knowing that things have not gone their way recently at home, and now this upstart Calgary team is ahead by a goal?
Yeah, like I said, they had that great opportunity. It comes down to chances, moments. Now they're going to battle from behind.
All set to Peczerski, trying to attack Storty. Peczerski, and a cross goal again, a narrow miss. Lisa Peczerski looking for an immediate answer.
And getting the thumbs up because, again, the switch of play was brilliant. Isolated Storty, who can defend very well. She was on her left foot, tough, difficult angle.
Did take a deflection there off of Storty.
But you'd rather the player take it as a defender to the touch line away from the goal as opposed to coming in on her right foot.
Played short, ball is up and just over the bar. Bilbao to Mimi Alidou, and the center back Lucy Capadona, can't believe she missed.
Yeah, it was a little bit on the high side for her, if we're going to give her a little bit. Yeah, and under some pressure. Under some pressure, a little bit bump. If you're not going to win it as a defender, make sure you get in there and make some contact and challenge the striker or the forward player taking the effort on goal, and make it difficult for them to get it on target, which she did.
So Calgary moving forward. Johnson bodied off the ball by Bilbao. Montreal playing with a bit more pace now, trying to be more direct. Ball in behind Storty. Talbert there comes out. Just going back to the goal and the penalty specifically here, Craig. Obviously, Calgary did bring some press. Karpenko elected to go to Seto on the short pass. Would you have preferred Karpenko to play that long, or is that on the defender Seto just to make a better decision?
I think it's on Seto. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can get blamed from a goalkeeper's point of view for putting somebody under some pressure, but you know, you should be confident enough to be able to keep the ball in those positions, and I wouldn't put any blame on the goalkeeper. I think she's putting the confidence on Seto to be able to deal with that, and she gave it away in a bad area. I think she'll have to just hold her hands up on that one.
Still 5 minutes to go before halftime, and of course the second half to try and make some amendments. You're watching the Northern Super League presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL. Calgary Wild have enjoyed a good stretch of play. Didn't start well on the 1st of August in a 6-0 home defeat where Grace Doherty was sent off in the 33rd minute. But since then, a win in the W Canadian Championship over CS Montreal Outremont. Really kickstart this team into some better play, and of course new additions. Coaching change has been a big part of that as well.
Yeah, they look a completely different unit.
Montreal trying to find a way back before the break. Malidu running there, and that will be whistled as a foul as Hannah Bowden was in an awkward position.
Yeah, that one looked like it could hurt.
Moore will stride forward. Stewart wins a foul. As Bilbao showing a little bit of the fiery French side there.
See if she's got a point. Well, there's a bit of, certainly some contact, but good work from Stewart.
Calgary wins the throw in the 42nd minute. Tegan Stewart, 3rd of the season and 2nd from the penalty spot. So far the difference, goal in the 37th minute. 8 shots for Montreal and 1 on target. Here, Craig, what's your level of concern here for the Roses?
Well, with knowing the players that they have and the individuals that they have, I don't have an awful lot of worry for them to create more opportunities, but it's taking them, because we've seen them have one glorious one that looks set to be a 1-0 lead for Montreal that they've missed. But like I said, this is a different Calgary side that is more difficult to break down, and now they have the lead. They're going to be obviously even better structurally, defensively. At least that's what the coaching staff will want. Don't give them anything. Don't give anything away. Don't give anything away sloppily. If they're going to score a goal, make sure it's done well and not by a defensive mistake.
Montreal with a chance to join the Ottawa Rapid at the top of the Northern Super League table after the Rapid were beaten at home by Vancouver 5-1 earlier on the weekend. And with AFC Toronto winning, now AFC Toronto is just within 2 points of the Montreal Roses. So this is a really critical match here for Montreal to try and not only establish some more distance between them and one of their big rivals, but also to be top of the table. Can't let this one slip away.
Well, that's what they're hoping for, and the biggest thing coming in was getting a result in front of their own fans. But they're also very aware of this Calgary side. Even Karpenko talked about it, knowing exactly where they are, and then coming off 3 wins in a row in all competitions, and well aware that they're an improved side.
Boychuk, interesting ball, and it's countered by Michaela Moore, sending it away for a deep throw. Taken quickly by Minas.
Moore's been lively defensively. Hasn't put a foot wrong yet.
Part of the Calgary Wild defending. He's played 90 minutes in 3 straight games for the Wild. Happens to coincide nicely with the win streak. Ball is in just ahead of Elise Bennett. It's really been the story of the half here for Montreal close but no cigar.
Yeah, that's a tough ball to find somebody. A straight ball through the middle has to be perfectly placed, nearly on. And if I was Montreal, I'd keep pressing to get in the ball in the wide areas and let some of the wide players get at the Calgary defenders. Seen it on a few occasions, but not often enough.
Early indication, 3 minutes of stoppage time here from the fourth official. More contact in the middle of the pitch this time. Miriam Marcotte waves it off, but he's been hit by Bilbao. And there is the confirmation. 3 minutes added on here. Montreal would love to equalize here in the final moments. A bit of pressure off in the second half.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Here's Sauvé, will do some attacking here, but Stordy once again, good body position.
Great body position. And she's, like we talked about her before, the most consistent player on Calgary. And they're having a hard time beating her one-on-one. She's done a great job.
We're staying out here.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have a look at Craig's thoughts here and some analysis of the first half. And we'll also take a look at the upcoming Under-20 World Cup squad for Canada, which does include a couple of Northern Super League players. Big year for international football. With the expanded FIFA Men's World Cup rolling through North America. 2 Under-20 World Cups coming up before the end of the calendar year. Under-20 Women's World Cup will be in Poland for 3 weeks, starting in early September.
And what a great experience that'll be as well. So important for our national team to have both our men and women's playing in those competitions. Tournament football is different, and it's a bit of a learning curve, not only just for coaches, but for players, how to deal with the tournaments, and that experience puts you in pretty good positions when you finally get to the big show.
Of course, speaking of the big show, Women's World Cup next year in Brazil. World Cup qualifying at the end of this year in November. Some big moments ahead. Canada will look to qualify not only for the Women's World Cup, but also for the LA 2028 Olympics. Boughton has won another free kick. He's had a physical first half.
That's for sure. Very competitive.
Looks like the card has come out here for Pierre-Louis.
Yeah, that's what you want to do as a player, because, you know, get the player behind you and just shield the ball, draw that pressure. And now a yellow card to Montreal.
Big opportunity here for the Wild. Under some threatening skies. Top of the penalty area, but no further damage. One last chance here for the Roses. There's the run from Mimi Alidou. Holds up on the top of the penalty area, and Mimi Alidou has tied this match in the final seconds of the first half. Montreal has its moment. It's 1-1. That is a huge one for the Roses, who look like they might be in some trouble.
Yeah, out of nothing. I mean, Bennett hits this. Watch this ball check up. It's got some backspin on it, but it really checks up to the point where Stordy can't actually read it. Goes back into play. Look at this, just checks up, and then Alidou does very well. First touch was excellent. Then it sets up an opportunity for his second touch, just to bang one by the goalkeeper. It does exactly that. Perfectly timed for Montreal at the end of the half, and should give them some confidence. That was much better. Bennett with the service to Alidou.
3 goals in her last 4, and also making amends from an earlier miss in the half as well. And that was the last action of this first half. So the Calgary Wild get one from the spot, but Mimi Alidou with the response, and it's 1-1 after 45 minutes.
on profite de la visibilité qu'on a pour pouvoir célébrer ce genre d'événement-là. C'est sûr que c'est le fun de pouvoir faire partie d'un projet qui supporte ces communautés-là. Je pense que ça va être rempli de couleurs de bienveillance, de bonheur, comme à tous les autres matchs, mais celui-là, ça va être particulier. Ça va être un match spécial où on espère qu'il y aura du monde, mais en tout cas, c'est les valeurs qu'on essaie de véhiculer au quotidien, d'être dans le partage, d'être dans la proximité avec les partisans, parce que on est des humains comme tout le monde. Oui, on joue au soccer, mais on est vraiment accessible et on donne aussi des exemples pour les petites filles de demain et on espère que ce sera un très bon jour. Ça fait partie de la culture ici, de se sentir chez soi, d'avoir un sentiment d'appartenance au logo. Puis ça passe aussi par le fait que chaque personne ici est un humain avant d'être une joueuse de foot. Donc je pense que dans notre groupe aussi, quand il y a quelqu'un qui est nouveau, ben on l'accueille avec les bras ouverts puis montrer que c'est comme ça qu'ici on fonctionne. Puis je pense que ça se ressent. C'est beau! Ben, quand je bégaye pas, c'est beau, oui. Si j'avais un conseil à donner, en fait, ça serait de s'entourer de gens qui la font sentir ou le font sentir à sa place. Je pense que dans tous les chemins que j'ai pris moi personnellement dans ma vie, que ce soit dans le foot, que ce soit à l'école ou dans d'autres sports, je m'entourais tout le temps de gens qui me faisaient avancer, qui me faisaient sentir bien où est-ce que j'étais. De croire en ses rêves. Il y aura toujours des personnes qui vont nous mettre des bâtons dans les roues, de nous dire tu n'y arriveras pas, tu es une petite fille ou le soccer n'est pas fait pour toi. Ça, c'est des personnes qui sont pas intéressantes à notre vie, avec qui on peut pas évoluer. Et puis, c'est de croire en ses rêves, de toujours travailler, de toujours être dans le positif, parce que des fois, ça va pas se passer comme on le veut, mais il faut continuer à travailler parce que tout travail mérite récompense et un jour, c'est ce qui se passe. Donc, il faut continuer à travailler et croire en ses rêves. That's it! That's it! See you on the beach!
Again, back-to-back opportunities. This side, there's no mistake. A rocket into the back of the net.
I'm losing my sight. I'm keeping it burning. I'm hard on ice. I'm climbing the high rise. I'm sick of this hype.
It's halftime at Stade Boréale. You're watching the Northern Super League presented by BMO. 1-1 between Montreal and Calgary after a late Montreal goal to even things up. Calgary also looked good, converting a penalty as well. So lots to digest here in this first 45 minutes, Craig. But let's start with the Calgary Wild, a team that had to really sink in and defend for the first 20-25 minutes, but then they got their moment.
Yeah, they did. And this is what we've seen from Calgary in the last few weeks as they've been restructured. Certainly much more difficult to break down and do a pretty good job defensively. And then doing well in the press whenever that is allowed to them. When they see something that they triggers those reactions. Karpenko plays it out to Seto. Now she gets caught in possession and then, well, she goes to ground because she's lost the ball in a bad position and gives away a penalty. And Stewart, an 18-year-old, with a brilliant penalty, tucking that one away to make it 1-0.
So a good start for Calgary. Second time that Tegan Stewart converted a penalty this year. Third goal of the season. Montreal, though, they had some chances. This was a big miss early on. Would have made it 1-0.
Yeah, this was just before the penalty as well. So Bennett does well, turns really well, puts in the dangerous area. Goalkeeper gets clattered by Owen Player, and Aladou smashes it over from close range. Should have found the back of the net.
This is the Capadona chance here on a header into the top netting.
That was a good chance too, but under some pressure from the defender to make it difficult for her.
And this looked like a Calgary opportunity, and instead, Lise Bennett having some other ideas there. How about this ball forward, taking a bit of a spin?
Yeah, it does. I mean, this is one time that you could question Storty, but it does take a very interesting bounce off the turf and check back from her. Where I criticize is what Storty's starting position was a little bit deep. They didn't allow anybody to run into an offside position, and then Aladou makes up for that miss with a really tidy finish. Good first touch and a great finished past the goalkeeper.
And goals in back-to-back for Mimi Alidu after scoring from the spot in Toronto a week ago. 9 shots, 2 on target for the Roses. Not as much traffic towards Anna Karpenko here, but did also have to take a look at the penalty as well. But mostly Montreal has been in charge, and that is an ominous looking sky if I've ever seen one. We're hoping that the rain and thunder and lightning stays away from Stade Boréale. 45 minutes down, 45 to go, and a 1-1 tie at half.
It definitely was not an easy journey for sure. Like a dream come true. I think for majority of our relationship, it's been long distance, and so we always thought maybe one day it will happen where we'll be in the same place, and to have it now, it's really comforting and it feels surreal at times.
It was something that we always talked about, and I think we joked about it at the beginning, like, oh, wouldn't it be crazy if we played together? We haven't got to yet, but hopefully it's coming soon. But being able just to like step out of here and like turn off kind of the work hats and engage with one another and just spend some quality time is something that I think we've wanted our whole relationship without having to take airplanes like to see one another.
Last year our families were able to like meet at the Pride game for Calgary Wild actually when Montreal were playing us, which was really special, and they hit it off like a house on fire, so that was really fun. And yeah, that was like another big step for us. She's a really hard-working, driven, inspiring like individual. It's been difficult because the Wild family hasn't been able to bear witness to this yet. When they do, I know that they're going to fall in love with her as much as I have. She's just a gem amongst so many stones, and yeah, I feel very privileged and grateful that I'm with her in this life.
Watching her from afar too the last couple years, like I know she's a fierce competitor, and I've obviously felt like her loyalty and like how we've interacted as a couple. Being able to like see her as a teammate as well and also know what she brings off the pitch truly embodies like everything you want in a leader. Seeing her work and seeing her like do it on and off the pitch, I was already impressed, but I've been even more impressed being able to witness it every single day. I feel really privileged to have her in my life, like on a personal level, but also now as a teammate, because she's like the best one you could ever ask for. And cut it. Cut it there.
Welcome back to coverage of the Northern Super League presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL. And as we hinted at earlier on in that first half, an exciting moment coming up for a couple of young players with the Under-20 Women's World Cup coming shortly, Craig, here in Poland starting on September the 5th. And a couple of NSL players will be there for Team Canada.
Yeah, and that's great. I talked about it a little bit during the first half and how important that is for young players to be playing in international tournaments and qualifying for it, which we actually do in the women's game all the time. And that will push them on into the full national team as well. That tournament football is a bit of a difference. I remember playing in the 1987 Under-20 World Cup in Chile, and it was certainly something different, and it made me a better goalkeeper and a better player just for the experience of playing in tournament football at the Under-20 World Cup.
So a couple of young Vancouver players, Olivia Chisholm and Kaylee Hunter, have been big parts of AFC Toronto this year. And then from the Calgary Wild, the one with the goal, Tegan Stewart, will be with the Canadian Under-20 national team as an alternate player. So certainly to keep an eye on. And also for AFC Toronto, missing 2 parts of their team for a couple of weeks. We'll have to see how that goes as well. All right, let's check in now with less than 10 games to go in this NSL regular season about how some of the players are getting along.
I love that. You knew what you were doing with that one. Yeah.
I like to keep everyone on their toes.
I don't know. Skip. Can we go back to it? One word for 2026. Growth.
Exciting. Legendary.
Baller. 2 words for 2026, round 2. The vibe in our locker room is...
Young. No.
Killer.
Right. The vibe is good. Yeah, the vibe is really fun. Mm-hmm.
Immaculate.
The vibes in our locker room is just fun.
Most underrated teammate.
Ooh. underrated teammate. I just met them.
I think JC's an incredible player in our back line. I think she's going to be really exciting this year.
Annika Toad. I think she's a great goalkeeper and everybody should get to know her more. Honestly, Charlotte Bilbao, but is she underrated? I don't know. She's properly rated. Probably the twins. They could be together.
Flo, you just like her personality, you would never know until you get to know her, and then she's like quite literally one of the funniest people you'll ever meet.
So you gotta pick one of your teammates who's taking the last shot.
I choose Quinny with my eyes closed.
Annie for one last shot, she's solid.
Maggie.
Phoebe Pridham.
Tanya Bochek.
Olivia Scott.
The league better watch out for blank.
Ottawa Rapid.
Montreal Roses 2026.
Us.
For Vancouver, like, obviously.
The league better watch out for the Tides.
Halifax Tides, new team this year.
Calgary Wild.
The league better watch out for Vancouver because we're ready to rise.
We're gonna end off on
like
I
that
love
one?
that. You knew what you were doing with that one. Yeah. The NSL is blank.
Inspiring.
An amazing group of incredible women.
It's a great place to showcase Canadian young talents. La Ligue est inspirante.
The NSL is a dream come true.
The NSL is powerful. The NSL is now.
We've already got tons of WestJet points.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Should we?
I'm booking it.
Your next travel story is waiting. Make it happen with the all-new WestJet Rewards.
Bye, Mom.
Sandra puts her trust in Intact Insurance. Luke and Ella's school does too. So does Samar's electrical company. And that's just one neighborhood. Intact goes the extra mile to protect over 6 million cars, homes, and businesses.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers, for the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists, for long distance love, for introverts and extroverts, for the thinkers and the doers, for old friends. Coca-Cola, for refreshing moments shared together.
Well, the clouds have opened up here at Stade Boréale, and, well, the fans scrambling for the ponchos, Craig.
Yeah, it's almost like it came over the back of the stand and caught everybody by surprise.
1-1 here at halftime. We could deal with the rain, the lightning and thunder. That is a different story. There are some thunderstorms around the Montreal area, but so far we will press on here with a little bit of precipitation. Players won't mind that here on a late August Sunday afternoon. You played for a long time in England. Enjoy playing in the rain?
Not particularly. No.
Makes it tricky for goalkeepers, I suppose.
Well, that's right. I mean, nowadays, too, the surface is generally being watered at halftime. You've always got to be aware of a slick surface and a slippery ball. And now you got wind coming into play here, too, as the rain starts to come down hard.
Second half underway. Glad you're with us here on a Sunday afternoon in the Northern Super League. Stade Boréale, the rain held off for the first half, but clearly the weather gods had other ideas here for half number 2. And a big moment, a big momentum shift at the very last play. In fact, it was the last kick of the half with Mimi Alidou finding the equalizer.
Yeah, that was. We were talking about if they could get that, it would put them in a pretty good position and give us some confidence in the second half, because it created an awful lot. Alidou had that one really good opportunity before she made amends to tie it just at the end of the half.
Mimi Alidou, of course, with the Canadian women's national team, 22 caps and 6 goals with the side since 2022, so a relative regular. Grew up here playing with Saint-Hubert. Our friend and colleague Amy Walsh will appreciate a good Saint-Hubert reference.
That's right. Penelope's been around. I mean, she's played for the Portland Thorn, Benfica, Marseille back in a few years ago. So great to have her playing in the NSL.
Yeah, playing at home.
Yeah, how nice is that?
Some valuable points on the table here in the second half, which is now taking a bit of a different feel here and a different twist with the weather opening up. This is played forward here. Minas! And a sure-handed save from Caitlin Talbert.
Yeah, that opportunity opened up for Minas. She might take a touch, maybe try to take it on, take the defender on, but decided on the quick shot and right at the goalkeeper.
Callie Johnson's able to get past Amandine Pierre-Louis. Johnson is in, Karpenko with a touch, and it's just out of the reach of Sarita Thurton, who was in the right place, but just couldn't quite get a boot on it.
Yeah, it was all Karpenko doing well to get that touch on it, because it looked as though it was going to be a free opportunity from about 4 yards out.
Back-to-back quality chances here in the opening minutes of the second half. I have a feeling we're not quite done with the goals here today.
No, that's what I said. I mean, at the start, buckle up, because there's going to be opportunities in this game. And I think as the game goes on, the legs start to get tired, we'll see a little bit more space.
Paczurski and Stordy. To the middle for Bennett. Taken off the dribble, though, by Michaela Moore. Stordy plays back to Otto. Taylor Otto in her 4th start in 5 matches for her new side here with Calgary. 3rd straight start today, settling in nicely with the back line. Callie Johnson, who drew the penalty in the first half, is wrestled down again as Pierre-Louis is on a yellow card and does need to be careful.
Yeah, she does a little bit. Questioning whether there's a bit of an elbow there. She was grabbing hold a little bit. You're right, you have to be very careful. Don't want to see a red card and put yourself and your home team 1 player short.
There have been 9 red cards already in the Northern Super League. This is a free kick here for Stewart. Ball is in, headed away. Moore on the follow-up. Header back across and taken by Minas on the second chance with the clearing. Talbot out of the penalty area. It's a touchdown. It's a bit of a risky one. This ball is sent back in, and it is in! Oh, a misplay, and Montreal capitalizes with Elise Bennett, her 10th of the season. What a turnaround.
Yeah, it's turned around very quickly with that goal at the end of the first half, and then so early on, but credit to Bennett to spot what's going on here. This was gives to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper doesn't do a good job with it. Now she's at the top of the box. She needs to get readjusted, get back into position a little bit faster than she did. Not to say she would save it, but they gave Bennett the opportunity, saw that chance, and finishes it off really well. That's a really sharp finish with somebody who is very aware of what's going on and who's around her, where the goalkeeper is, where Calgary is, and it's now 2-1 Montreal.
Well, the Northern Super League can take a new look at the Golden Boot leader now, the first to crack double digits. Bennett's back-to-back in terms of the goals as well. And that will do a world of good here, and the roar from the Montreal crowd will give you a bit of an idea. That's a big turnaround again.
Yeah, it is, and I think for Calgary, I mean, they'll be disappointed because in the open play, they've actually dealt with Bennett fairly well. She's had her moment. She did that one nice turn in the first half, who's created an opportunity where Talbot got hurt on. But in here, yeah, and sloppy both from Montreal, which gave away a penalty to Calgary as well. So playing out of the back is important. Being on possession is important, but a couple of sloppy plays have cost both these teams at least 1 goal.
looking like it was going to be 1-0 for the visitors at halftime before a late goal and then a miscue early in the second half. Referee plays advantage here as Pierre-Louis looking for Montreal's third, crosses in, and that hit a hand. It was close. Still in the penalty area, and Mimi Alidou pleading her case on the initial look. Looked like that ball did bounce dangerously close to a hand.
I think it did make contact. I believe it was Moore. Jumps up and she tries to clear it.
Oh boy.
Oh no, it doesn't actually hit Moore's hand, but it was Moore that tried to clear it. Very accidental, certainly.
Taylor Otto. And was taken down in the following sequence. Well, the Roses will feel hard done by with that. An odd sequence as well. The cross was a bit of a tricky one, and Michaela Moore just mishit it on the clearance.
Yeah, some interesting plays and some sloppy play that's caused both these teams. They need to clean those mistakes up.
Well, Taylor Otto and the Calgary Wild will feel fortunate. It is just 2-1, but I suppose when the clouds open up, it can create a little chaos.
Yeah, the surface is completely different now. That first goal in the half, it when it checked up on the dry surface, Storty probably wouldn't have had that problem with the surface now, expecting it to skip on.
Really pounding down now, just north of Montreal, but we play on. Also had a bit of a nasty weather day in Halifax as well. The East Coast taking between 50 and 100 millimeters of rain today. And we saw earlier that's provided a moment for AFC Toronto to take advantage of a goalkeeper miscue with Toth, who just couldn't quite get a good read on the ball through the slick conditions.
Yeah, that's right. Ask the questions of the goalkeeper, put one on target.
First corner here for the Wild in the second half, second on the match. Tegan Stewart, low line drive, top of the penalty area. Otto takes a look around, has Pogarsh. Back in, and basket catch from Karpenko to be extra sure.
Yeah, as a goalkeeper, you're happy when nobody wants to come in and challenge you on those, because they're going to be difficult to deal with. You have to take it in a higher position above your head.
The raindrops on the camera lens certainly give you a pretty good idea here of just how heavily the downpour has been.
Coming in sideways.
There is a weather alert for squall-like conditions in North Montreal. Montreal does have the throw. 10 minutes into the second half. It looked like it could be a long, painful day for the Roses. Has turned around. Alidou's been on the goals, and so has Bennett. This ball is up for Talbot. Once again, has it bounce on her. And the flag comes up here anyway for offside.
Good goalkeeping, though. If you wouldn't have known if it's offside or not. Probably you have to be a little bit of aware. They seem to be having tired minds. You see that. It's definitely an offside position, Bennett. Good goalkeeping coming out to the top of the box and dealing with it.
Back by the Roses, another ball through. Talbot spins this one away, now has to hurry back. He's already been beaten once like that. Pechersky and Storty. Storty this time with a bit of help. Able to get the ball away to safety. Ooh, there's a head that comes in from Thurton on Bilbao. That looked painful. More of the shoulder that caught the head, but yeah, still uncomfortable nonetheless.
Yeah. Putting their bodies on the line.
Calgary is the team now that's looking for a goal. Now having to defend here with Bennett. Sauvé's ball, top of the penalty area. Knife towards goal. Now it comes to Lisa Pechersky. Ball through from Pechersky, just too far for Mimi Alidou. Just looking back at some of the halftime statistics here, Craig, just 9 touches for Jorian Bacham in that first half. How can Calgary get her a little bit more involved?
Well, that's a good point, and they need to try to do that as well. Away from home is going to be sometimes tough. You have to be patient for your opportunities, and also the way that Montreal has defended so well at times, as opposed to giving the ball away for the penalty, of course. But there's some very good moments from Montreal.
And also making a change here as well with Amandine Pierre-Louis, who had the yellow card coming out, and Haley Whitaker coming in for her 16th appearance of the season. So a relatively early second half change for Maurice Bard-Martel. Alidou's ball. No one to make the run there between Bennett and Pechersky. Right to Pogarsh. Johnson. Misses Pogarsh on the pass. This could be trouble here for the Wild as Montreal have numbers coming forward, and the recent substitute with Whitaker into the penalty area. There's the cross. Moore is able to get a boot to it and then sent away by Callie Johnson.
Good energy from Montreal. Calgary not so much. They're a little bit getting pulled apart. Not as organized and structured at the back as we saw in the first half. That needs to be better. Montreal just knocking the ball, trying to get it in behind the back line, and they've done a really good job of that in the second half.
Closing in on the hour mark in Laval, Stade Boréale. Turned into an interesting first half here with some of the conditions changing. Calgary here has won a free kick.
Good refereeing there too, I thought. Stewart was fouled for a split second. It looked as though they might have an advantage, so she played that, the official, and then called it back.
Sauvé here on the throw. Some great work from our camera crew in Laval. It's a tidy cleanup job there on the camera lens there.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Nice directing there to seamlessly cut around.
That's right.
Maybe I'm spoiling the magic of television here, but
yeah,
lens looks great.
Yeah, you did a fantastic job.
Ball just skips away from third, so Sauvé on the throw. Trying to make amends. Whistle did go there as Thurton goes through the back on the tackle. Pechersky.
Yeah, just trying to win the ball back, but Pechersky knows what she's doing. Drawing that contact from behind and the foul.
Ball sent into Bennett. Caitlin Moore defending. Certain there to help out as well. Third as well to win the throw. Saw that Montreal had the possession lead at half. 55%. It's now dipped here in the second half. Well, Calgary did concede a goal I'm sure they'd look back on and might have some regret. Still half an hour though to try and make amends. Malcolm coming in on back-to-back games with goals, so she'll be keen to make it 3 in a row. Calgary's press coming. Forcing Capadona to give the ball away. Calgary's won the throw. Doherty looking at Bockham. Able to push the ball past a few defenders and well, we know how she feels about that call. Apologies for some of the language.
Yeah, I don't think she was too happy with that.
That's a fair assessment there, Craig.
Yeah, that's right. Good analysis.
So Montreal taking the ball back. Ball from Storty missing the intended target there with Sarita Thurton. Bennett. The backtrack there coming from Alessino. Butt into touch. So far, Elise Bennett, her goal is the difference. Bilbao dispossessed here by Hannah Boughton. Calgary, if they can move quickly, they have numbers. Long run from Boughton. Callie Johnson ranges past Whitaker. Attempt at goal. Karpenko lunging out. May have been well wide of the target anyway, but why take a chance?
Well, I believe it took a deflection, so she's basically saving it from going out for a corner. Comes in on the right foot, opens up a little bit. Little neck there, and Karpenko, good hands, as we usually are come to expect.
Bockham wins this ball back as Calgary looking more energetic there. A couple of step overs from Bockham, who's taken down. No complaints there, and Pechersky. Referee so far has kept the whistle in the pocket here for the most part.
Yeah, I think Pechersky was looking for that, and the referee saw that and gave nothing, rightly so, in my opinion.
You're watching the Northern Super League presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL. Third and final match here of the weekend, week 18. 5-1 for Vancouver yesterday in Ottawa. Earlier today, another away win with AFC Toronto traveling east into the Maritimes in a rainstorm and picking up a couple of first half goals. Nikki Small and Kaylee Hunter doing the job for AFC Toronto, who are back in the win column. Next week also a couple of games on Saturday with Montreal will play Halifax, and that one's a special one at Stade Saputo. There's the home of CF Montreal in Major League Soccer. Vancouver and Calgary will meet in a Western clash on the West Coast before AFC Toronto will host the Ottawa Rapid, who have all of a sudden seen their position at the top of the table being threatened here. That one at BMO Field during the CNE. Always a fun time of year in the Ontario capital. Here's a corner here for Tegan Stewart in the Wild. Ball is up, punched away by Karpenko. Not cleared though. Ball ricochets off a forearm, and that does this time get detected, and it will be going Montreal's way.
Good goalkeeping. Karpenko, this is what she does well. She recognizes whether the ball needs to be caught or whether she needs to get her fists on it. Makes those decisions very well. And they didn't get it up in the air so much, but she was under some pressure. It's great for defenders when goalkeepers come.
Judgment there from Boughton. Pass though, looking at Callie Johnson, was off the pace. Taken back by Haley Whitaker and the Roses. We're just over 20 minutes away from a first home win since early July. Here's Bennett. Good ball in, take it on, still loose. And just ahead of Lisa Peczurski, Talbot had to be on high alert there.
Yeah, she sure did. Poor clearance there by Storty. Characteristic, but still the goalkeeper has to be sharp on it, jumps on the problem.
Couple of Montreal changes in the works. But right now it's Peczurski. Storty having to close the gap. Peczurski, great footwork! A good play there from Michaela Moore. Taking that one, looked to be a stinger in the rain. Away to safety.
Yeah, Moore's been impressive in this match, and this Peczurski again getting isolated with a nice pass out to her. Kazakhstan gets onto her right foot. Got one on target. Moore doesn't want to take any chances. And chests it out for a corner.
You appreciate that as a keeper, or does that open the door for maybe a deflection or?
Well, I mean, if you have time to shout it off, and if you know the goalkeeper's there, but Moore certainly probably wasn't absolutely sure. Didn't hear anything. It's a lot of timing, and it's a loud crowd as well. It's hard to hear.
Senchel just not quite able to get up to head that one forward. And now we will have what looks to be a double substitution here for Montreal. Noemi Paquin set to come in, and Laurie Thibault as well. Two regulars coming in off the bench for the Montreal Roses. Charlotte Bilbao coming out, and also Tanya Boychuk leaving here in the 70th minute. So far 3 changes for the Roses and none for the Wild. There's Bockham running on hard, does have some help with Thurton. Bockham stepping over, Bockham into a danger area and scores! What an individual effort from Jorian Bockham! And we are level at 2. What a finish. For now, goals in 3 straight for Bockham.
Yeah, wondering how she was going to get more into the game. Well, she gets on the ball. She thinks, you know what, I'm just going to put my head down, keep it up, look at some more where the defenders are, sees that there's problem on the left side. I'm going to cut in my right foot and then slot one past for Pacampo, which has no absolute chance with that. Brilliant forward play, great run, terrific finish, outstanding forward play by Bockham.
Oh, what a goal, what an effort coming just before a Calgary change here as well. Janaea Robertson coming in for Tegan Stewart, who did convert Calgary's 1-0 goal from the spot. So moments after a double change, disaster strikes for the Roses.
What a great individual goal that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had one thing on her mind that was never going to, I mean, she's been fairly isolated, to be honest, at times. Bockham up front. It could be frustrating as well. So she comes into almost into her own half to pick up possession. There was a bit of space, and she just exploited it, and with a bit of skill, ability to finish it off brilliantly.
Step over from Peczurski. Plays this ball over to Whitaker. Does have to go collect it here on the slick pitch. It's been a back and forth affair on this day with both teams a lead at one point. This is off the woodwork, a floater from Seto. And Talbot having to thank the crossbar. There's no further damage.
No, that was a difficult one to deal with. I'm not sure whether she just, let's have a look. Is she trying to put that one into the box? Yeah, I think she probably is. Just get one into the top of the six, but put the goalkeeper under all sorts of pressure, but goalkeeper's best friend helps out.
Top of the crossbar to the rescue for the Wild. Storty does well to defend there, forcing the Roses into a deep throw. The penalty area threatening here with Bennett. From Sauvé. Cleared away, and then the pass missed, so a Calgary throw here in order. Ockham hunting the ball down. Seto and Capadona have to be very careful after what Jorian Ockham just did. Shifted wide here to Thurton. Calgary might have something. Thurton, and just can't quite hit it into the penalty area.
Kind of a wasted opportunity from a very good position. He had some support. There's even some players at the top of the box she might have been able to cut it back to, but in the end, no threat to Montreal.
2 shots on target, 2 goals on the day for the Calgary Wild. Montreal has 6 shots here in the second half. 2 on target. Boughton trying to give Calgary a lead. There's some friendly fire there as
it was. Now Calgary's got a bit of a skip in their step, haven't they?
Yes.
A bit of momentum change.
Well, they've been a goal scorer over the last couple of weeks, scoring 3 in Vancouver, 4 against Ottawa, 2 here today. Well, typically glance off a hand that played over. Here's Paquin into the penalty area. Paquin, yes! She's found it. Noemi Paquin. No celebration though.
So offside.
And as the flag come up,
it was very, very close. My initial thoughts were it was offside. And it was. Well spotted by the assistant. A nice tidy finish too, from a tight angle. Woo! Unlucky. Just offside.
close play there. Michaela Moore had that one.
Yeah,
almost
got lucky.
Double hitter there, and that opened the door to plenty of problems, but bailed out on a close offside.
Yeah, hasn't put a foot wrong for the most part until then.
Seto puts her head down, full sprint, unable to keep it in play. Alessino will be there to push it ahead again to Johnson. It's the throw with a quarter of an hour to go at Stade Boréale. Calgary has been clinical when it's had its moments. Well, Montreal has had more of the pressure, more of the possession, more of the shots. So far, teams in position to split the points today. Still plenty of time. Whitaker pushes this off, ball is in. Directed away from goal there by Otto, back in again. Up the penalty area for Mimi Alitu. Only has one on the day. Right to Laurie Thibault. Thibault's ball, top of the penalty area. Calgary defending with numbers there. Great little ball forward there from Lloyd Tebow. Whitaker's ball right in and taken by Pogarsh. Sent away as all of a sudden Montreal has grabbed the momentum back.
Yeah, just need a little bit more quality on that cross, but they've built some momentum and had a good exchange and movement and positions to create that cross. Needed a bit more quality.
Alley 2. Takes a step past Robertson, who does recover nicely. And Jeanette Robertson wins the foul.
Little shirt pull. Oh, and booking for dissent, I would think. Or the shirt pull, but it looked as though she had a word with the referee.
So into the book for a yellow card. Second yellow of the day for the Roses. After Pierre Louis, who has now been substituted, picked up one earlier.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Into the book we go. Played forward. It's Paquin. Nice little ball hit to Bennett. Yes, no. Yes, and then no. The roar and then the groan of the crowd. It hits the side netting. Very similar to her previous goal.
Yeah, what a pure goal scorer, right? Like just sees a bit of space, opportunity, and creates an opportunity for herself out of just about nothing there and hits the side netting. Very, very close again. Bennett.
Had me fooled, Craig.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was in.
I'm glad that was on you because a lot of fans thought it was in too.
Bennett close to the brace. That attempt there, and then of course her goal really caught Calgary by surprise.
Yeah, good rebound from Calgary. A team that's been fragile this season at times. I was wondering how they would respond. They were 1 up to go 2-1 down. Would that be the end of them? And they reacted quite well. Also a fantastic individual goal to tie things up, and now they've got some energy.
Just over 10 minutes to go here before stoppage time. So they're away for the Wild to pick up another 3 points here away from home. First of 3 straight away for the Wild. We've played 10 at home and only 6 away. So having to play some catch up. Callie Johnson's ball. It's a good one, headed on and just missed. It's Bockham again. Or check that, it's just in the top of the penalty area.
Nice work in the wide position. Takes Whitaker on. Cross comes in. Good run. Decent opportunity. Just needs to get that one on target.
It's a substitute, Robertson.
Yeah, very good chance.
He's back on the ball here again. Bockham back in the penalty area. Doherty unable to run onto the ball. Instead, Montreal will come back. Ball through. Here's Melody Yasmin. Alley 2. Crosses in. Headed away by Michaela Moore. Sauvé being pursued. Once again sent up by Moore. And this time Bockham able to intercept, taken down, wins the foul.
Nice work. Nice work. Coming back into her own half, get the ball. That's what you have to do, hold it up. You haven't got a lot of support around you, so you got to keep control. And draws the foul.
Open play. Bowden had to go to ground to save that ball.
A little more space developing in this match, isn't it, later on with into the last 10 minutes.
Another foul here, and it's one on Whitaker. And a card will come out here for Whitaker. Montreal not liking the decision-making here from the head referee, and they're paying for it in yellow cards.
Yeah, you got to keep that discipline. I mean, I know obviously there's some frustration out there. But you don't want to be getting booked, especially for silly reasons.
Baucom lining up in an offside position here. Headed on towards goal. That one did have some potential. So will there be a winner today in Laval? 7 or 8 minutes away from stoppage time. And this game very much hanging in the balance. Chances at both ends. Robertson here, this one will go into the book as a tactical foul for a yellow card. Second of the season for Robertson.
Yeah, I would say that was a yellow card. she knows it too.
Alessino unable to run under the ball. It's taken back by Sauvé. Seto. Playing forward here, Whitaker. Whitaker's ball. It's a good one, headed back on towards goal. That could have been disaster for the Wild, but headed over by Taylor Otto.
That would have been a little bit worrisome for the goalkeeper. Otto gets enough on it to put it out for a corner.
Alidu's ball, punched away by Talbot, not to safety though, headed back in. Thibault facing some contact and now struck on at Talbot, making a brilliant save. Goes for a corner as Pékin put everything behind that.
Yeah, it's a great strike on target as well. It's a tough angle, but Talbot stays up big, strong at the near post. Does a really nice job. It's not one you want to get beaten by, but it's pretty close. Like, it's not that far away, and it was struck so beautifully well. Top drawer save.
Alidu again from the corner. And this one just mishit. And for a goal kick. Looking like a Calgary change here is in order, with Anderson Williams coming in for her 6th appearance. Calgary native. And that will bring Alessino's day to an end in her first start for the Calgary Wild. Williams' first touch. Using body position to play this forward. It's taken by Baucom. Baucom's ball, top of the penalty area, taken away by Whitaker. Storty. Some company with Sauvé, and Sauvé does well there. Boutnell sending Baucom back in. Baucom on Sauvé, left boot from Baucom. Makes a deflection and then now just cleared away.
teams looking for 3 points here. They're not settling for a point each. And looking at Calgary and what a difference a couple weeks makes as far as confidence goes. Winning in Vancouver for the first win in the NSL with goals in the 90th and 95th minute to the first victory. And he's gone from strength to strength. And not the easy touch that they've been, certainly were in the earlier parts of this season. They have some grit about them.
Johnson backtracking, taking that away from Whitaker. Yeah, certainly Calgary would love to continue the win streak. Equalizing goal from Bacham in the 71st minute. Williams chases this ball down. Pressure coming from Robertson here. Seto follows up. Alidu takes a couple of touches. Ball to Pachurski. Always dangerous. Pachurski's ball into the arms of Talbot.
I have to be honest, as Pachurski, I'm a big fan of hers, but I don't think this is her best performance ever. She's been under some pressure. She's been defended well against. Created a few opportunities, but she sets her standards very, very high, and I'm not sure she's reached them in this particular match, but she won't give up.
Well, still a little bit of time for a bit of late magic. Just ahead of third and ball, out for a Calgary throw. Looks like the substitution isn't quite ready. Looks like Tilly James will be coming in here for the Wild. This one takes a deflection though, as we've now crossed into the 90th minute in Montreal. In NSL play, 3 wins, a draw, and 4 defeats for Montreal at home. Meanwhile, 6 wins and 2 draws, 0 defeats away. Been a bit of a night and day scenario for the Roses. Looking like it's going to be in the works here for the Wild. Keelan Stewart, who, as you mentioned, did have the winner in Vancouver. Of course, the twin of Taggett, who did also score in that game and has scored here today as well. This one is whistled, a late whistle coming in. This time it's Tebow voicing her displeasure. Here's the changes with Tilly James and Keelan Stewart. Pogarsh coming out. And looks like Sarita Thurton also has made her way off. That is the case. All in here for Stewart. After all that 3 minutes of stoppage time here, and the Wild have a corner.
So they can nick another one here. Haven't really threatened on corners as of yet, but the delivery's been pretty good.
Keelan Stewart on this one. Bouncing away. Anderson Williams will take a touch and play back. Taken by Tilly James. Good ball ahead from Stewart. Keelan Stewart, ball into the penalty area. It's there, and it's in the back of the goal. Johnson, no, the flag has come up. Callie Johnson had the winner on her boot. And Montreal, see if we can get a glance at it when we can. Meanwhile, Paquin is coming back down the other way.
That was sharp from Karpenko, who actually saw that Calgary were complaining and weren't paying attention. Then here he caught them off guard. Got away with it just about. But that looked like it was the winner and called off or offside.
Oh, Montreal had one called back as well on a close offside, which was the right call. This one looked close again. Calgary thought they had another stoppage time winner.
Cracking game.
The 3rd minute of stoppage time. Capitona goes forward. Thibault shielding the ball away. Collected by Moore. Turned back by Sauvé. Sauvé might be caught here though. Race for this ball, and Capitona for safety into touch. Played quickly. A couple of balls on the pitch here now though. Bockham gets away. Bockham takes a touch. Bockham over top of the goal. That also had winning goal potential.
Another great bit of individual skill. Getting in behind. Her goal came on the right foot. She decides to, a bit of great skill to come in on her left foot and just hits it. Hits it well, but just gets underneath it a bit too much. Doesn't hurt the goalkeeper.
And that is full time. An entertaining game at Stade Boréale ends in a 2-2 draw. Both teams holding leads at one point of the game this afternoon, but it's Bockham's equalizer that gives Calgary another point.
Yeah, you know, it's a fantastic run from Calgary. I really enjoyed that game. All in all, it's a terrific NSL game, which we've seen so many this season. But from Calgary's point of view, the first win in the NSL a few weeks ago were against the champions Vancouver with goals in the 90 and 95th minute. Then they take on Ottawa, who were top of the league, beat them as well, and then they come into second place Montreal, get a 2-2 draw. This is a different looking Montreal side. It's great to see them building on that. And from Montreal's point of view, still can't seem to get that win at home that they so desperately want in front of their own fans since the loss in the Canadian Championship.
Now we're going to take a look here, Craig, at what looked like for a brief moment a Callie Johnson winner. Was this offside?
Well, is there a little touch? Oh boy, it's incredibly close. I don't think the initial one was off, but there's potential because of the touch by Moore that it would have been offside.
Montreal might consider themselves fortunate.
Yeah, certainly fortunate, but I don't. I wouldn't criticize the referee there. I think that touch by Moore just was enough that the player was in an offside position. Close.
So 4 goals on the day. We'll take a look at all of them here, and it starts with the Calgary Wild doing a good job on the press and forcing Seto into a turnover and then committing a penalty.
Yeah, good work with good pressure. They've done that very well in the first half, especially Calgary, and got their just desserts by getting a penalty. And Stewart hits it brilliantly well and makes it 1-0.
This was the last moment here of the first half, and it turns into a Calgary free kick. Results going the other way, and Bennett with a quality assist here and a nice finish from Mimi Alidu.
Yeah, she throws it forward. They put bodies forward. It takes a bit of a back check there and fools Storty, but the 2 touches from Alidu were brilliant. The first one sets up the second one and tucks it away 1-1.5.
And this was when the clouds opened up early on in the second half. Bennett had the assist earlier, and this time catches Talbot away from the goal.
Yeah, it was a bit sloppy. I thought she could have got on her bike a bit earlier to get back into the zone, and as well as Storty could have maybe done a little bit better on the block, but Bennett is sharp, spots the opening, and makes it 2-1.
How about this finish here? Another great turn from Jorian Bockham, calling her own number with a tidy finish.
Yeah, that's one of the best individual goals you'll see all season. Getting it in her own half, running at the defenders, getting it on her right foot, and just slotting it past the brilliant Karpenko.
So Montreal in possession for a slight majority, but certainly leading in terms of shots and shots on target, corner kicks, but very close to giving it all away. A close play. Looked like Callie Johnson may have had the winner called back on the offside. Also, of course, mentioning Paquin did have a goal that was also rightly called offside, but it was certainly close. Energetic second half, And let's take a look at the standings here as we finish off Week 18. Montreal now closing within 2 points of Ottawa. Calgary, of course, still with a lot of work to do to try and catch the playoff line, but it's tight really across the board.
Yeah, it really is. It's great to see. And teams in different parts of the season have sort of had momentum and then lost it. And some of them are having trouble winning and picking up 3 points at home. Montreal being one of them. Vancouver being another one. We know Calgary's had their struggles, but they look a different team now.
So, certainly lots to play for around the playoff line, lots to play for around the top of the table as well. Week 19, it's a Saturday-Sunday affair. Montreal heading to Stade Saputo to take on Halifax, Vancouver, and Calgary as the Wild will head to the West Coast. And then AFC Toronto will play at BMO Field and against Ottawa. Well, Jorian Bauckham and Corey Babington sharing a discussion under threatening skies. Thankfully, Craig, that the weather, the thunderstorms anyway, did hold off, but a little rain added for some chaos in this one.
Yeah, it did, and what a terrific display it was. An awful lot of fun to watch it, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. This has been a lot of fun, and hope it continues. I'm sure it will. The season's been brilliant so far.
Well, we're getting into the final stages of the regular season. This one had a little bit of everything. It ends in a 2-2 draw. Stade Boréale. On behalf of Craig Forrest, my name is Matt Cullen, all our hard-working crew here on this Sunday afternoon. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the week ahead.